Hello, Oilers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Oil Spills. Today, there's a number of things going on around the team as they're still kind of reeling after a tough loss Thursday night against the Carolina Hurricanes. There was a really interesting article last night written by Daniel Nugent-Bowman of The Athletic that had some really interesting information about how the next little while is going to kind of play out here for the Edmonton Oilers. As we all know, Evander Kane is out of the lineup, and last night he was a guy that the Oilers definitely missed. Kane's such a huge driver of offense up in that top six, and the Oilers didn't quite seem the same without him up there. You know, Dylan Holloway slid up onto the second line. He played well. Jesse Puljujarvi was on the top line. He played well as well, but neither of them contributed with any points, and that's going to be an issue for this team. So Nugent-Bowman spoke to Ken Holland, the general manager of the Edmonton Oilers, and Holland had told Nugent-Bowman that he's making some trade calls right now, but he doesn't really expect there to be any trade. Now, we're still months away from, the trade deadline and trade season really picking up in the NHL. It doesn't appear that any teams out there are willing to throw the Edmonton Oilers a lifeline right now. Now, in terms of Evander Kane, it sounds like his prognosis is going to be putting him into a late February, maybe early March return. For the Oilers, that makes some issues, to say the least. It really limits their ability to go out and acquire a player with a higher cap hit. Of course, with Evander Kane on the LTIR, the Oilers get some more cap space added to their LTIR pool that they're able to use. However, it doesn't seem like Ken Holland is willing to make any sort of a move to utilize that as it pertains to bringing in another strong top six player, even a bottom six guy like a Patrick Kane or a Jonathan Taves or someone along those lines that the Oilers would be able to fit in there salary cap wise with Evander Kane on the LTIR. Now, we've seen teams in the last couple of years, namely the Tampa Bay Lightning, who put Nikita Kucherov on the LTIR and said that he was out all the way until playoffs to maximize their LTIR space. Then he came back right in during the playoffs. For the Oilers, it doesn't look like that's the route they're going to go. So what route are they going to go? Well, it appears that Matthias Yanmark is going to be getting a good run with the team here. Now, the Oilers signed him this offseason. He came into training camp. He wasn't able to win a job, and he told Daniel Nugent-Bowman that he was quite frustrated by it. In getting sent down to the American Hockey League, he had to wait in Edmonton for 3 weeks to get visa issues and stuff like that sorted out before he could head down to Bakersfield. And when he went down there, he was very successful. He scored a couple of goals, had a couple of points in a couple of games, and now he's been called up as one of the first guys to come and join the Edmonton Oilers team. Now, last year with the Vegas Golden Knights, Matthias Yanmark was a strong depth producer. I'd be curious to see if he gets some runway alongside Ryan McLeod and Warren Foegele on the third line. I think Matthias Yanmark could be a guy who helps provide a little bit more of an offensive punch to that trio right there, with Ryan McLeod and Warren Foegele being pretty strong defensively. I think that would be a line that I'd be really interested to see happen. Now, also important to note that Kailer Yamamoto returned to Edmonton. He got nicked up in the Tampa Bay Lightning game. We don't know what his injury is or how long he's going to be out. We do know, however, he missed the Thursday night game against Carolina, and he's going to be out Saturday against the Florida Panthers as well. One other thing I wanted to touch on today was Jesse Puljujarvi. He got bumped up to the Oilers' top line 3 games ago, and then the 3 games since, he's looked pretty good. Now, taking a look at his 5-on-5 individual numbers in those games, he hasn't scored any points yet, but he's been really productive otherwise. He's got 8 shots on goal, which is first among Oilers forwards in that time. He's got 0.74 individual expected goals, which is second behind only Connor McDavid. He's got 15 shot attempts and 11 scoring chances, both tied for first among forwards with Connor McDavid. He had 4 high dangerous scoring chances, tied for second behind only McDavid, and he's laid 5 hits, which is second among Oilers forwards at 5v5 behind only Warren Foegele. I think these are some really good signs that we're seeing from Jesse Puljujarvi here so far. I think this is a spot he's going to be in for a little bit of a while now, given some of these injuries that have happened to this team. Now let's see if he can really grasp it and start to produce some points up there, much like he did for parts of last season.